Once in power, Alauddin Khilji reshaped Delhi like no ruler before him. Rebellions were crushed before they could take root, and nobles who opposed him vanished quietly. Markets, marriages, and even private lives were monitored, as Alauddin believed that fear created order far more effectively than loyalty. His economic reforms were strict. Prices were fixed to prevent inflation, merchants were watched by spies, and the army was kept in a constant state of readiness. Every part of society, from the streets of Delhi to distant provinces, operated under his tight control. Alauddin's ambition extended far beyond the capital. He conquered Gujarat, sending his trusted general Malik Kafur into the Deccan to extract wealth and subdue kingdoms. These campaigns were brutal, leaving devastation in their wake, but they achieved his goals: wealth, control, and influence. Across northern and central India, rulers learned that defiance was futile, that Alauddin's spies were everywhere, and that his armies would strike with ruthless precision. Strategy and discipline, not luck, defined his military campaigns. Yet Alauddin's greatest achievement was defense. The Mongols, feared across Asia for their speed and destruction, had already toppled countless kingdoms. Many rulers trembled at the thought of facing them. Alauddin, however, did not cower. Using fortified defenses, well-supplied garrisons, and disciplined strategy, he repelled repeated invasions. Each Mongol attack was met with preparation, traps, and planning. His empire endured when others fell, showing that power was not just about conquest, but about survival and foresight. Yet Alauddin was not invincible. In his later years, illness weakened him. Conspiracies and intrigue began to grow in the shadows. Officials who had long been suppressed whispered and plotted. The system he had built, a network of fear, surveillance, and absolute authority, began to show cracks. Trust could not be restored, and the machinery of power depended entirely on his personal oversight. When Alauddin Khilji died in 1316, he left behind an empire that appeared powerful and unshakable. But its foundation, built on fear rather than loyalty, was fragile. Alauddin Khilji's life is a study in contrasts: ambition and fear, strategy and cruelty, conquest and defense. He demonstrated that absolute power could create stability, expand empires, and repel even the most formidable enemies. Yet he also showed that such power comes with a cost: trust erodes, humanity is suppressed, and constant vigilance is required to maintain control. His empire, like a finely tuned machine, ran smoothly under his guidance, but the gears were brittle, and the slightest disruption could threaten collapse. History remembers Alauddin not only as a conqueror or ruler but as a strategist who understood human psychology, a commander who mastered both offense and defense, and a sovereign who believed that fear, more than loyalty, was the foundation of order. He reshaped society, markets, and armies. He expanded Delhi's borders and defended it against the Mongols. He left a legacy of both awe and caution, a ruler whose ambition brought prosperity, but whose methods demanded a heavy price. Fear, however, has a cost. Alauddin's policies ensured obedience, but they also eliminated trust. Nobles, soldiers, and officials learned that even a minor mistake could mean death. His kingdom ran like a machine, efficient, stable, but rigid. Punishments were merciless. Humanity gave way to control. Families lived in constant anxiety. Merchants and soldiers alike understood that survival depended on absolute compliance. Despite the harshness, Alauddin's policies brought stability. By controlling markets and wealth, he prevented uprisings and funded his military campaigns. By keeping the army disciplined and ready, he maintained both internal order and the capability to expand his empire. His reforms turned Delhi into a hub of power, wealth, and strategy, a kingdom where every action, every choice, was calculated to strengthen the sultanate. His campaigns were not just about wealth, they were psychological warfare. Malik Kafur's expeditions into the Deccan were planned to demonstrate power and deter resistance. Kingdoms that resisted were punished severely, while those who submitted were integrated into Alauddin's system of control. Word of his ruthlessness spread across India, defiance meant devastation, and cooperation meant survival. Alauddin used fear as a weapon, shaping not only politics but the very culture of obedience across his empire. Alauddin Khilji did not rise because history chose him, he rose because he dared to do what others feared. Born in the late 13th century into a minor noble family, he was patient, intelligent, and relentless. He studied the art of war,